Virgo, it's exciting to talk to you again. Halfway through the month, a couple of weeks ago, we had some interesting readings going on for you. But let's see if summer's a little lightened up a bit or what's going on, okay? The cards have been pre-shuffled, but I do want to take a moment to invite the spirits and angels to come and guide us with some information about your person. So, the usual announcements apply, where you know that there's no gender, just male and female energies, and that I can't speak to every Virgo in the entire world. So I will focus on the folks who need the message the most. Although so far tonight, messages have been pretty good. So let's see if Virgo's life is a little more interesting. for better or for worse. Let's hope that the overall energy will make more sense as we get into the reading. Okay. So we have the High Priestess in the upside down reverse here. We have actually 3 cards in the reverse here. The Queen of Pentacles and the Tower as well. So let's see what's going on. Why are these in the reverse? And I don't worry as much about the reverse because a lot of times it's either potential energy or something that is giving someone pause. So, and those are usually good things. So it's all good. You really can't have a bad reading as long as you see it as growth and looking ahead to see how you can handle a situation best, which hopefully is why you're here. The High Priestess is always in that realm of working on the intuition, but also has another foot that she's between worlds in the sense that she's also got one foot in the reality and the real world. So she's comparing and contrasting a lot. So your person may be debating in that sense of what they see, what they know in the real world when it comes to you, but also what they're sensing, which sometimes is intangible and they can't quite put their finger on it, but they're not quite, in the upright in the sense of being a strong High Priestess. The Queen of Pentacles suggests that they're also trying to be somebody who's capable of providing and being interested in who you are as someone who deserves a lot and that sort of thing, but they're not quite sure how best to be that person for you. And let's see, the Tower, I mean, I'm not going to say that because it's upside down that all of a sudden it doesn't have any energies involving something that's a little difficult. But Tower moments are great because sometimes it can be a good Tower moment. It doesn't have to be a bad one. It's just something for all I know, that you just rock their freaking world, right? So, but they aren't quite ready to have a complete disruption to their lives, so they're not like ready to enter into some union right now. I think that there could be a lot going on in this person's life, and the fact that they're even taking the time to consider you on this level means that they care a great deal. But I don't know that they're ready for something right now when they've got some heavy duty stuff going on. This may not even be about you, and I don't sense that it is. I sense that there's some things going on in their lives that just, they're like, I can't even get involved right now, right? And it could be, is we have in the next line concept here, that they've been hurt And I don't know if this is recent, but they definitely are probably more. Whenever I see a 3, I always think, you know, let's stay in the in a more friend energy, because it's a little less, it's a little more lighthearted and relaxed, and that's definitely how you want your person to see you, right? So whatever's happened to them, you don't have to get into it or find out their business. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I mean, if they want to talk about it, then by all means. But sometimes people want to be, you know, that, you know, an emperor here. Your person may want to come off as this wonderful person because maybe they've felt like not such a great person, because they've been broken down by somebody else, or a situation with somebody else, and they may want you to see them more as this solid and you know, person who can drive the relationship, and that's probably how they see themselves when they're not dealing with this type of energy. You know, this is who they tend to want to be and are, but I'm sure they're a little bit unstable here. Just sort of like with, here we have the 3 of Wands. I mean, if there was a 4th one, we'd know that there'd be stability. So this person's not, they're looking to be more stable. They want to, I think that they've been an emperor and they want to get back into that energy and feel confident about it. Okay, the Lovers are upside down, just like the Tower, because I kind of see these as lovers too, especially when I'm doing a love reading, right? So I think that they see you as a potential soulmate, or somebody that they have a really, really strong connection to, and they know that this is something that really should happen for them, because it would be such a loss to not see it through. And you know what? And I think that in that sense, there is some issue where they might have run for the hills because they're just not ready, but they feel that there's an amazing connection with you, so they're not willing to just run away. Okay, and here we have another 3. Although not quite as difficult, they definitely would prefer to stay in that lighthearted energy. So I would say, if you have friends in common, mingle in a less one-on-one environment for now, and just let them see who you are, and bask in that connection that makes them more interested in seeing this through. And here's another thing to consider. If this person's world has been shaken by someone in the past, their worldview may be a little, their sense of identity could be a little bit off. I'm not saying, oh, just agree with them on everything. No. But be playful when you're looking at concepts that are worldview in nature, and so that you can feel like you can be simpatico, even if you have different points of view, as long as you keep in mind, you remember what's most important. They don't want to be left out in the cold, so you do want to be careful of that. I'm not saying go along to get along, because that's not going to work, but I think that what's driving, and in this particular case, it's not all doom and gloom. It's just that they don't want to be, this is how they feel, and they don't want to be there, okay? But they see that potential in you. So I think that, you know, you're really that person for them, and I'm really happy that there is that potential. Just be careful with it is my best advice. And the dried flower fairy says sweet memories. So clearly this person does have some connection to you, and I think that confirms it. And that's your reading, Virgo. So I hope